Adjusting to the first year of homeschooling from Growing Without Schooling 111, Diane Hendry of Ohio writes, "When I started homeschooling my 6-year-old daughter, I knew I was going to be taking on a huge task. I would be solely responsible for her outcome. I wouldn't be able to blame the school system for its inadequacies. In order to do my important job, I read every homeschooling book available, made copies of curriculum and forms for planning, turned my enclosed front porch into a school, and worked out schedules, 9 to 9:30 for math, 9:30 to 10 for phonics, etc. I even planned days for special classes, Monday for art, Tuesday for music, etc. I made out daily lesson plans and documented what we had done with journal entries. I had successfully brought school into my home. But was this what I wanted for my daughter? I was providing one-on-one instruction, she was not exposed to negative social behavior, and I could ensure her academic success. But what happened to the other reasons I chose to homeschool? I wanted her to use her creativity to discover the world with the excitement she had as a 4-year-old. She had lost it after she went to kindergarten. Homeschooling was supposed to bring it back. 3 months into my first year of homeschooling, it wasn't working. Then I attended a wonderful seminar on interest-based education. I attended twice. I finally started to realize what I was doing wrong. First, I eliminated schedules and lesson plans. I found that my daughter was fantastic at math when she wanted to do it. She could read a whole beginning reader book if she was in the mood, instead of the hair-pulling frustration she felt at reading a page when I told her to. So I gave her tasks that we needed to do each day, but told her that she could pick the order. This worked for a while, but the end of each day would come and some of the things on the list wouldn't be done. She was too busy creating projects, becoming Peter Pan, telling exciting stories, and thinking. She was doing everything I had hoped, and yet, "We have to do math and reading every day," the little voice in my head kept saying. That little voice was going to make sure I felt guilty enough to keep putting us through hell. Then somehow, I started incorporating learning into our daily lives. Cooking became a valuable math lesson. Playing store was a fun way to learn about money, competitive pricing, advertising, and reading. Learning opportunities were everywhere. I watched my daughter act out scenes from books we read. We read picture books about other countries and situations that piqued her interest to learn more. Those wonderful questions that used to drive me crazy finally started coming again. Why doesn't the Kool-Aid spill out of my glass when the ice cube melts? Brought about a discussion and experimentation about water expanding when frozen. I have now realized that less truly is more, especially with our homeschooling. We still have a few standards we adhere to, enough to keep that little voice appeased. Daily, I read aloud 2 picture books, then she reads to me. Every night, I read from a chapter book. She writes at least 1 letter to someone weekly. Each week, she picks a topic that we will learn about in depth, and we get books from the library, draw pictures, etc. There are always educational things available, like painting, puzzles, math worksheets, games, crafts, etc. Whenever she is bored, I will answer any question she has, whether through encyclopedias, books, or some other method. My daughter has learned volumes since I learned to relax. My first grader can recognize members of the big cat family by their various spots, knows that shrimp is in the crustacean family, and can add and subtract 3 digits. She understands the concept of fractions, can identify some of the states by their shape, and is learning German. Boy, am I glad I threw away my lesson plans and got back to natural learning. Could we learn how the Blackfoot Indians communicated with the white man is her latest request. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. A picture book whet her appetite. Now it's up to me to satisfy it. Off to the library we go.